Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. This time, we're going all the way to India.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, to look at something pretty amazing. Their journey towards financial inclusion
Okay, yeah.
over the past decade. It's really interesting how they brought, millions of people into the formal banking system, and it's changed their lives in pretty big ways.
Yeah, it really is a remarkable story, how India decided to tackle this challenge. Because a lot of developing nations kind of face the same issues,
Right.
and they took it head on. And we're talking like real tangible change in people's everyday lives.
So can you kind of paint a picture for me? Like, what was the scene before all this? Like, how are things in India financially before all this started happening?
Okay, imagine this, right? Like
Mhm.
over half the population, they don't have a bank account.
Wow.
This was just 10 years ago for
Wow.
millions of Indians,
Yeah.
especially those in like rural areas.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, their savings are vulnerable, emergencies happen.
Right.
And they have to rely on like these predatory lenders.
Oh, that's scary.
It's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Really hard to like even imagine, the stress, no safety net, no easy access to loans, really precarious.
Yeah.
And, what it did was create this cycle of vulnerability. It limited people
Yeah.
in building a secure financial future. But then in 2014,
Okay.
things began to change.
Right.
That's when they launched the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana.
Andan Yojana. Okay, what's the deal with that name?
So Jan Dhan basically means people's wealth,
Okay.
which I think perfectly describes the entire scheme. And the aim was to bring financial services to everyone
Okay.
in India,
Yeah.
like regardless of their background.
That's a big goal.
Huge goal.
Yeah. So did they actually do it?
Well, the results are amazing,
yeah.
like super astonishing.
Uh-huh.
Bank accounts just skyrocketed. Like we're talking from 350 million in 2014 to get this 1.2 billion today.
That's a crazy increase.
It is. Think about it. 85% of Indians now have bank accounts.
So they really did do it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
For a developing nation, it's massive.
That's huge. Yeah.
Huge testament to this scheme,
Yeah, okay, but it's got to be more than just opening these accounts, right? How did this help people in their everyday lives?
This is where it gets really interesting. See, Jan Dhan, it wasn't just about numbers.
Okay.
It was about giving people control, improving their lives
Right.
for real. One of the biggest changes was this thing called direct benefit transfer.
Okay, DBT. So how does that work, and what problem was it trying to fix?
So remember how we talked about people having to rely on those like shady lenders?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times it was because government money, welfare funds, they weren't getting to the people who actually needed them
Right.
directly. There were leaks, corruption.
Right, so the money that's supposed to be helping people
Yeah,
isn't actually getting to them?
exactly.
So how did this DBT thing help with that?
They found a way. They started transferring the funds straight to the people.
Okay.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah,
You know,
smart.
made sure the assistance, it got to the right people.
That's a much better system.
Much better. And it really made a difference.
Yeah.
Like a huge difference.
Okay.
Over the last 10 years, they've transferred, get this, over $450 billion
Wow.
directly to people who need it. Think about how big that is.
Yeah, that's massive.
The ripple effect. Huge.
Yeah, so it sounds like they were serious about helping people.
Yeah. But there's another question, right? Did people trust this new system?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, were they even using these accounts?
Well, the numbers speak for themselves. It's not just about opening accounts. They're using them actively. Over $27 billion in deposits
Really?
in these Jan Dhan accounts. That shows trust.
Yeah, it does.
Growing trust in the system,
Okay, so this is really reaching the people who need it most then.
for sure. 65% of these accounts.
Yeah.
Rural and semi-urban areas.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Bringing services to communities that were left out before.
Right.
Big step towards inclusivity, a fairer financial system.
And what about women specifically in India? How did this impact them?
Huge impact, like really significant. Thanks to Jan Dhan,
Yeah.
nearly 300 million women now have their own bank accounts.
Wow. And what kind of a difference does that actually make?
Think about it. Control over their own finances,
Yeah.
independence, opportunities open up.
Okay.
It's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Really shows how financial inclusion can lead to social change.
So we've gone from a huge chunk of the population not even having basic banking to a majority who are now financially included. This wasn't just a temporary solution, was it? This seems like it set the stage for something much bigger.
You're absolutely right. This is where we get to the really exciting stuff, the jam trinity.
The jam trinity. Okay, now you've got me curious. We gotta dive into that.
It really is revolutionary. The
Yeah.
jam trinity, it's like this amazing blend of technology and policy.
Okay.
It uses Aadhaar, those Yandan accounts and mobile phones,
Okay.
to make this whole system.
So to really get it, let's break it down, starting with Aadhaar. What is that exactly?
So Aadhaar, it's India's like biometric ID system.
All right.
It's basically, think of it like a unique ID, but it's linked to your fingerprints and your iris scan, like a digital fingerprint, right? So it's really secure.
Okay.
To make sure you are who you say you are.
That makes sense. And so where do the mobile phones come in?
Well, mobile phones are everywhere in India,
Right.
even in those really far off areas.
Yeah.
So now you combine that with Aadhaar. So you've got your identity and a Yandan account for your banking. And boom, you have this incredible platform for all kinds of financial stuff.
Yeah.
All in a device that like everyone has.
Okay, that's pretty slick. Can you give me an example though? Like, how would this actually work, like in real life?
Imagine, right? Like a farmer way out in a village.
Mhm.
He needs to get some government subsidies for his crops.
Right.
In the past, this would be a huge hassle.
Well, I bet.
Travel for hours,
Yeah.
wait in lines, maybe deal with corruption,
Right.
just to get the money he should be getting.
Yeah.
But now with this jam thing,
Yeah.
the money goes straight into his Yandan account.
Okay.
He gets it instantly, uses his phone, it's secure, it's efficient.
That's way better.
Yeah, it gives him control over his own finances. You know?
So it's like bringing the bank to him,
Yeah, I
no
mean,
matter where he is.
And that's just one example.
Okay.
Think about it, paying bills,
Yeah.
sending money to family,
Yeah.
even getting your wages,
Right.
all on your phone.
That's huge.
It's completely changed how people deal with money.
Yeah.
It's easier, more convenient than ever before.
And this whole digital payments thing, hasn't that put India on the map globally?
Absolutely. Like 40% of all those real-time payments in the whole world,
What?
they happen in India.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It shows how well this jam thing created a digital financial system
Yeah.
that really works.
So it's amazing that India not only solved their own problems, but they've also become like a leader
Yeah.
in this whole digital payments world.
So what's next for them? They brought all these millions of people into the system.
Right. What happens now?
That's the exciting part.
Yeah, okay.
Now they can go beyond just the basics.
Okay, yeah.
They can offer more complex financial stuff to all these people who are now in the system.
Like what kind of stuff?
Think microloans to help small businesses grow. Or insurance, so families are protected if something bad happens.
Right, yeah.
Like an illness or crops failing.
Mhm.
And even investments, so people can build their wealth, have
Yeah.
a better future.
Okay, yeah.
The Jam Trinity can help make all of this happen. It
Yeah.
can really open up doors for people who never had these chances before.
So it's not just about getting by anymore. It's about like really getting ahead.
Yeah, that's what financial inclusion is all about, you know?
Oh.
Empowering people, giving them control over their own lives.
India's story is really inspiring.
It really is remarkable.
Yeah.
You know, like they took on this huge challenge, they made it work, and now they're leading the way. It's pretty inspiring.
It is. And it shows the rest of the world what can be done, you know, even when things seem really tough.
So what do you think? Like, what are the big takeaways here for other developing countries?
The main thing is that financial inclusion, it's not just some feel-good thing.
When people have access to these services, they can save money better, invest in businesses,
Yeah.
deal with risks.
Right.
It all adds up. More jobs, less poverty.
So it's like it helps everyone, not just the individuals.
Yeah, it's like a chain reaction.
That's pretty cool.
It is. And what's even more amazing is that India did this in a huge e-country.
Yeah.
With so many different people, so much of it rural.
Right, right.
It proves that it can be done anywhere, even if it's hard.
But it wasn't just by chance, right? Like, what did they actually do to make this happen?
Well, for one, the government was really committed.
Okay.
They had a plan. They put money into it. They worked with everyone involved.
Yeah, so it sounds like they really took charge.
They did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just them, you know? Technology played a big part.
Oh, yeah. The Jam Trinity.
Exactly. It made
Yeah.
everything so much easier for everyone, even in those far-off places.
Right, right.
So it's about having the will and using technology in a smart way.
So what other lessons do you think came out of this?
Well, they kept things simple.
Okay. Yeah.
The accounts were easy to open, easy to use,
Yeah, that's smart.
even for people who don't know much about finances.
A lot less intimidating.
Right. And the other big thing is They didn't give up.
Okay.
This wasn't a quick fix. It was a long-term thing.
Right.
They kept at it. They adjusted. They kept trying to reach everyone.
So it's about constantly improving, making sure everyone's included.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think India really showed what's possible when a country makes financial inclusion a priority.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
It really is. It's a great example for any country that wants to empower its people, help their economy grow.
And it all comes down to that idea, right? Giving people control over their own lives.
That's what it's all about. When people have that control, they feel like they can do things,
Right.
make choices that improve their lives, help their communities.
It's more than just money, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's about dignity, having opportunities, a better future.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
We saw how India faced this massive problem. They used technology in a really positive way.
Right.
And they set this amazing example for the whole world.
It shows us that even when problems seem impossible, we can still make things better.
I like that.
But before we go, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
What can we do right here in our own communities to help with financial inclusion? It's a big question, but it affects all of us.
Yeah, it really does. Something to think about, for sure. Thanks for joining us. And everyone listening, until next time, remember that financial empowerment, it starts with each of us.